This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going to the video, please take a second to click that like button. And we're on the road to reaching 10,000 subscribers, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you enjoy the contents I put out in this channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Great Tusk EX from the PALDEAN FATES expansion set. Great Tusk EX has this ability called Quaking Demolition. At the end of your turn, discard 5 cards from the top of your deck. Honestly, this ability works against you more than anything because you really don't want to lose any cards unnecessarily. So as much as possible, we're just going to turn off its ability with the help of Path to the Peak Stadium. Its attack Great Bash, however, is very powerful. For 1 fighting and 3 colorless energy, it deals 260 damage. And this attack is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So other than resistance, this attack is pretty much unblockable. 4 energies to power up its attack, of course, will be the main challenge. However, there is an easy way to energize its attack. First is with the help of Professor Sada's Vitality. This allows you to choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon in play, and you can attach 1 basic energy from the discard pile to each of those Pokemon. And we're also going to use the EXP Share Tool card. If your active Pokemon with energies is knocked out, you can transfer 1 of the energy to your Pokemon with this tool card equipped. This will help preserve the fire energies in play. And that's because we'll be using this ARMAROUGE to help us out. It has the Fire Off ability, which allows you to transfer as many basic fire energies from your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. With enough fire energies in play, you shouldn't have a problem setting up a second Great Tusk EX and have it attacking the same turn. As my secondary attacker, I'm using this Cloth more for its Unhinged Scissors attack. For 2 colorless energies, this attack deals 30 plus damage. And if this Pokemon has a special condition on it, this attack will deal 190 damage instead. This is a great single price attacker, especially you can just transfer 2 fire energies onto it with the help of ARMAROUGE. Of course, we have to put a special condition on Cloth to attack for big damage, and the best way to do this is with the help of Brute Bonnet with a Toxic Powder ability. Once during your turn, as long as this Pokemon has the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule equipped, it can poison both players' active Pokemon. Naturally, we'll have a few copies of Ancient Booster Energy Capsule in this build. This will give our ancient Pokemon 60 more HP, and it also prevents them from being affected by special conditions. This will make it harder for our Great Tusk EX from getting knocked out since it will now have 310 HP. And finally, I have 1 copy of Grant in this build. This will add 30 more damage to your fighting Pokemon's attack. And you can recover this from the discard pile during your turn at any given time in exchange for discarding 2 cards from your hand. For a more defensive approach though, you can just replace Grant with Mimikyu with a Safeguard ability to prevent attack damage from Pokemon EX or Pokemon V. Overall, I was actually surprised at how well this combo works. One downside to this build, however, is that when Path to the Peak rotates out of the standard format, it will make it a little bit harder to get around the 5 discarded cards due to its ability. But maybe, just maybe, there is a combo out there that may come to light where your deck would actually benefit greatly from its ability. But other than that, this build is actually really good. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Great Tusk EX. Alright, on to our first match. My opponent will be going first here. And we're going to start with a Cloth in the active spot. We have access to 2 Great Tusk EX and a Battle VIP pass. My opponent doesn't seem very happy with their opening hand, and we're going against Lugia VSTAR. This could be very problematic since Lugia VSTAR is resistant to fighting. So we're not one-hit knocking out this Lugia VSTAR at any point in time. But my opponent will start with a Drapion V in their active spot. It is actually weak against fighting. We might be able to get an easy knockout against this to get 2 prizes. But there's the Lugia V with double turbo energy attached. They will end their turn. Before we do anything else, what we're going to do is use Battle VIP Pass, get Bidoof and Charcadet in play. So we need to set up our consistency engine, our support Pokemon. Then I could start energizing Cloth, I think. Put this EXP share on Bidoof. Might as well put Great Tusk EX. We'll have 2 in play. That's fine. So I'm going to use Iono. Maybe that will disrupt my opponent's hand. And we got Brute Bonnet and Path to the Peak. We're definitely going to play that. That could be a great disruption against my opponent. Because even if they evolve into a Lugia VSTAR, they will not be able to use their VSTAR ability to set up Archeops on their bench. And that's basically the main engine of Lugia VSTAR is Archeops, because that's what accelerates special energies from their deck to their Pokemon to attack. With the Ultra Ball, they will get Lugia VSTAR, but they're just gonna use Professor's Research. Alright, that's very odd. Why didn't they just evolve Lugia V on their bench first before using Professor's Research? Okay. And they're just gonna end their turn. Alright, so this Drapion V is at our mercy. We have Ultra Ball. I could use this Ultra Ball for getting our Bibarel. I'll just sacrifice those two. Get Bibarel. And then we can draw for 3 before using Professor Sada's Vitality. We got Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That way we can draw 3 extra cards with Professor Sada's Vitality. Alright, nice. We got another Fire Energy, so we can actually get a knockout with Cloth this turn. That's awesome. Toxic Powder poisons both active Pokemon, and Unhinged Scissors will deal 380 damage, knocking out their Drapion V, getting us our first 2 prizes. Awesome. So even if my opponent knocks out my Cloth, we will preserve that Fire Energy thanks to the EXP share on Bibarel. And we have a bunch of Ultra Balls, so we can get ARMAROUGE and then just transfer those Fire Energies. We have a basic Fighting so that we can power up our Great Tusk. But they don't have any Archeops on their discard pile yet, so maybe our Iono in the beginning proved to be a good disruption as well. So this Capturing Aroma will get them Tails. They get basic Pokemon. They're gonna go for a Radiant Serena, and it has the ability to heal all their Pokemon by 20 HP once per turn, but Path to the Peak is turning that off right now. And they're just gonna attack for 200 damage, knocking out our Cloth, and it also discards the Stadium in play. So we will absorb the Fire Energy. That's what we want to preserve, because that's what's going to transfer ARMAROUGE ability. We'll transfer the Fire Energies to our active Pokemon. We got another Fighting Energy from our top deck. I will put Cloth in play. And then we don't have enough energy to power up our Great Tusk EX just yet. Let me just go ahead and get an ARMAROUGE first. That way we can start transferring our energies and evolve. Oh wait, it has 2 retreat costs. So what I'm gonna do is actually put this energy so we can retreat Charcadet into Cloth, and then we will evolve into ARMAROUGE. That way we can still attack with the 2 Fire Energies transferred to our Cloth, powering up its first attack. And I mean, I could still use Iono. I don't want to put Path to the Peak in play because they can just discard it with their attack. Let's see what we got. We got another Path to the Peak. Alright, cool. I mean, our setup is pretty solid right now. What I want is more EXP share if we can get him. Another ARMAROUGE. Okay. And since our Great Tusk is not one-hit knocking out Lugia VSTAR because of resistance, and we're just not hitting for enough damage, the huge amount of damage that Cloth deals to this Lugia VSTAR will help us to get a knockout with our Great Tusk EX next turn. They will heal, but it is still within knockout range, so we're good. We don't have any more Fire Energies in our discard pile, but at least we can accelerate 2 energies with Professor Sada. There's a boss's orders, okay. And they're gonna target our Brood Bonnet. That's fine. That will preserve our Cloth, and I'm okay with that. I could still attack with Cloth, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use Great Tusk EX. This is a Great Tusk EX showcase anyways, and we can survive attacks, right? Got boss orders, nice. I'll accelerate the Fighting Energy, and then we can use Professor Sada's Vitality to put an energy to both our Great Tusk EX. We can even get a Brute Bonnet thanks to the draw of Professor Sada. And what we're gonna do is use Fire Off to transfer these fire energies from Cloth to our Great Tusk EX in the active. And then we can attack with Great Bash, dealing 230 damage, finishing off this Lugia VSTAR, getting us 2 more prizes. That is actually pretty awesome. Thanks to Path to the Peak, the destructive ability of Great Tusk EX is not going to affect us. It's just a very useless ability, but I guess I see the point of it, you know? It's like the feature of this card. It's just a very destructive, powerful Pokemon that harms itself because of its sheer power. I get it. But my opponent will be using Ultra Ball to discard 2 Archeops, and they finally evolve into a Lugia VSTAR, another Lugia VSTAR. But again, with Path to the Peak, nope, there's a Collapse Stadium. They will take out Path to the Peak. I'll just sacrifice Cloth. So Collapse Stadium reduces both players' bench to 4. And now they can use their VSTAR power ability, putting Archeops in play. So now they can accelerate as many special energies from their deck to their Pokemon. But with 4 more prizes to go, I don't think they have any other way to win this one. 250 HP is a lot to go through. And they don't have any powerful attackers that can one-hit knockout our Great Tusk EX. And that's gonna afford us a lot of time to just keep knocking out their Pokemon. We can either 2-hit knockout their Lugia VSTAR or just take 1 prize at a time. And I think they're just gonna attack with Snorlax. It's dealing only 160 damage because it's reduced with a double turbo energy. And they fall asleep. So again, they are not taking out our Great Tusk EX. I could use boss orders, but they could just retreat their Lugia VSTAR. For now, I'm gonna focus on preserving my energy, so I'll just get an EXP share, and I'll get an Ultra Ball. Maybe thin out my hand so that I can draw more cards with my Bibarel. Put this fire energy on my benched Great Tusk. Discard these 2. And I'm just gonna fail that. I can draw 1 more card with Bibarel. Let me just switch into Great Tusk. That way we can draw 2. And then we have a fresh new Great Tusk EX in the active spot. Battle VIP and Counter Catcher. Nothing too useful there. Let me go ahead and use Fire Off to transfer the fire energies to my new Great Tusk EX. And we're gonna use Great Bash, dealing 520 damage. Again, hitting for weakness. Knocking out this Snorlax for 1 more prize. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That can even increase the HP of our Pokemon. But we can also use that to attach on our Brute Bonnet. We can poison my opponent's Pokemon. And without Path to the Peak, again, that ability is discarding the top 5 cards of our deck. It's it's very scary, especially if your cards are depleting or depleted already. You could deck out if you're not careful. So having Path to the Peak is very important. My opponent is setting up Slacking V. And since we have boss orders, we could just boss one of our opponent's other bench Pokemon and win that way. Because Lugia VSTAR, we can't knock it out with our Great Tusk. So that's the only option we have. So Tempest Dive deals 200 damage to our Great Tusk EX. And they're preserving the Collapse Stadium. Alright. So with style, I'm just gonna do all this stuff. We can boss orders the Slacking V and get actually 2 prizes. Poison both are active, and we're just gonna finish this off with Great Bash, again dealing 520 damage to get our last prize for the win. Not bad. ARMAROUGE with Great Tusk EX is actually really great. Good game. Alright, moving on to our next match. We will start with a Cloth in the active. My opponent will mulligan. And we're gonna get one extra prize. We got Great Tusk EX from that. Very nice. And we are going first. We're going against a lightning type build. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna be an easy win. Got Brute Bonnet. Let's see, I can sacrifice these two and get Bidoof. And then I could use Path to the Peak. That could slow them down. They can't use Raikou V's ability. And if they have Miraidon EX, they can't use their ability. So if they can't take out this Path to the Peak, that could slow them down greatly. Hopefully. But going second is actually really dangerous because they can attack on their first turn going second. Very, very powerful, fast-paced lightning type decks, especially with the electric generator. This Miraidon deck is not to be trifled with. Iron Hands EX could pose a problem here though because Cloth only has 120 HP. They could definitely knock it out. Get 2 prizes instead of 1. But with the attached energy, they will retreat into Miraidon EX. Professor's Research. Oh, dude. That could actually get them. They did. Okay, they got Beach Court. Removing Path to the Peak. They will set up Mareep. And Tandem Units. Miraidon EX can search their deck for a basic lightning Pokemon. Put it straight to their bench. For a Zapdos. And that Zapdos increases their attack damage by 10 more damage. Alright, we got Counter Catcher. Okay, this is very difficult. I think Arven is the best choice here. I can use Ultra Ball, get Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. I could just sacrifice Professor Sada for now and Counter Catcher. Get a Barrel. And then I can use this booster to our Brute Bonnet. Draw 5 with Industrious Incisors. Let's see what we got. We got another Bidoof. What's prize? EXP share. Alright. I don't know if Cloth will be knocked out next turn, so might as well just put the energy on Great Tusk EX. Discard these 2, and then I'll set up Charcadet. And then we're just gonna... I mean, I could poison them. No, I'm just gonna end my turn. That's fine. Although either way, all their attackers are pretty strong. Even if I poison my Cloth, they will just knock it out. So, we should have just poisoned them. Avery! Come on, I need all these cards. Let me sacrifice Brute Bonnet. It's annoying. Okay. Electric Generator. 1 Lightning Energy to their Iron Hands EX. Very dangerous. Another Electric Generator. They're charging up that Iron Hands EX like crazy. Okay. But they still have a ways to go. Can they attack here though with Raikou V? I think they already attached for turn. Okay, cool. So they didn't energize their Raikou V. They will not get a knockout, so we're still a little bit safe. We go ahead and set up another Brute Bonnet. Maybe we can get ARMAROUGE, get a Fire Energy. Although we can't transfer that fighting energy to Cloth, so that's a big problem. Just gonna get Squovit. Use Iono. And then got a Fire Energy. Yeah, this Cloth might have to just get destroyed. I'll put the Fire Energy on Great Tusk EX. I don't think they have any means to knock it out unless they power up their Raichu V. Use Pal Pad to recover Arven and Professor Sada's Vitality. Nestash for 1. And then we can use Bibarel for... Cool, we got an ARMAROUGE. And then, oh no, we already used the barrel. Okay, so that's our setup. We have no cards in our hand, which is horrible. I was actually thinking of putting double turbo energy in this build as well, but the probability of us preserving energies becomes lower. So I just went all out with just basic fire energies and fighting energies, and then preserve them and then transfer them with ARMAROUGE. So I guess this build can benefit from the double turbo energy. I feel like it's just gonna affect the consistency of it, but yeah, if you can, add a double turbo energy. Another Avery, bro! That is annoying. Get rid of those two then. So now their Iron Hands EX is ready to go. They will be able to attack with it. Knocking out our cloth will net them 2 prizes. Alright, well played, my opponent. That Avery is annoying. Alright, well, we got a fire energy. Can we attack this turn is the question. Industrious Incisors. Okay. This is pretty tough. If we had Professor Sada, we could have accelerated 1 more energy and then we can attack, but might as well just use this Iono. And there's the Professor Sada. A little too late, but at least we got EXP share, which is nice. And I'll just set up another Char Cadet. I don't know if that was a good idea. They could just boss it, knock it out with Iron Hands, and without Path to the Peak, we are discarding cards. Oh, this Great Tusk EX is annoying. His ability is so annoying. Okay. Well, it's all part of the game, but if you have ways around it, Great Tusk EX is actually really strong. Another Avery. How much Avery do they have? Three. Okay, they used up 3 already. That is very, very obnoxious. They're gonna retreat into Raichu. I don't think Raichu can deal enough damage to knock out a Great Tusk, but they're gonna go for Raikou V, and that will deal significant damage. I gotta tell you that. But what we need to do is set up another Great Tusk EX. I don't know if we can win this. My opponent is already way ahead in the prize exchange here. I mean, if we could just knock out 3 of their Pokemon, we should be good. As long as we can keep that Iron Hands EX from taking knockouts. So 190 damage from this Raikou V. We have enough energies to power up our Great Tusk EX, but we need to set up another one. Otherwise, we will run out of attackers. We go ahead and just boss this Raichu V. This is the only one that can actually deal tons of damage. Although they can just recover it. It is a basic Pokemon, which is a little bit annoying. Ooh, we have Grant. I could just discard 2. That way I can draw 3 instead of just 2 with Bibarel. See what we get here. Another Great Tusk EX. Perfect. Path to the Peak can go into play. Let's go ahead and use Super Rod. Yeah, I think that's the best option here. Get Fighting Energy, Brute Bonnet, and Cloth. Cloth is good because it's single prizer. You can take out 2 prizer with it. So 520 damage will knock out this Raichu V, getting us 2 prizes, removing that dangerous one-hit knockout potential against our Great Tusk EX. The only problem here is with 1 EXP share available, we're only preserving 1 fire energy, but I think that's fine. If we can get Brute Bonnet into play, we can get 2 energies with Professor Sada's Vitality. And then if we can draw another energy, we can attach for turn and still be able to attack with Great Tusk EX. That's gonna get them 2 more prizes, and with Iron Hands EX on the way, they can just knock out either Bibarel or... I mean, I can evolve my Charcadet. Remove that liability. Alright, got Fighting Energy from our top deck. That is actually perfect. Let's go ahead and power up our active. And then... let's fail this first. Can use Nest Ball to get Brute Bonnet. So we'll have 2 ancient Pokemon in play to use our Professor Sada to accelerate 2 energies. And we can evolve this. Perfect. Now they can't knock it out with Iron Hands EX. And then we can accelerate Fire Energy and another Fire Energy. That way we can transfer all of those with our ARMAROUGE. And then we also draw 3 cards. I'm not going to put Cloth in play because they can knock it out. But you know what? Brute Bonnet actually has 120 HP. They have 2 targets. Either Bibarel or our Brute Bonnet. But for now, we're just going to Great Bash this Raikou V, getting us 2 more prizes. My opponent has 8 cards in their hand. If they have boss orders, they will win this game. They need 1 more energy on their Iron Hands EX, and that's gonna be game. There's the boss's orders. Alright, well, we tried. We should have had this game. We should have had this. We are hitting for weakness too. There's the energy, and all they have to do is switch into the active spot, knock out our Bibarel, get 2 prizes, and win the game. Nest Ball. Why are they... Dude, just finish the game. There's no need to stall. What? They whiffed the switch? They didn't have the switch! Well, you know what, guys? Great Bash will deal 580 damage because our Grant gave us 30 more damage. And that will win us the game. Bro, that whiff! They whiffed it! Oh, that was a close one. Wow, good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel. And until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.